clicked on something else. Man, should have got a pop. Alrighty. Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic dinosaur action. Not too many more days. 10 or so. Maybe 9. I really should know exactly when Thunder Junction is released. However, tonight is focused on Ixaly's Lore Keeper, trying out a few different dinosaur options that I'm sure some of you guys have tried in the past, but different for me, for Stampede Dinos. Very, very excited about all this potential. Once I get myself resized. Oh, there we go. Well, down a little bit more. Okay. That feels too small. Good enough. All right. Ixaly's Lore Keeper. The thumbnail's sake in the sideboard. Why is it in the sideboard? Where is the sweeper? Extinction event. Something to take out multiple creatures. I got it in the back of my mind for quite a while, but also just recently. Getting so close. A one turn away, whether I'm on the play or on the draw of doing my thing. Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant. If I only had one more mana, if I was only just a hair closer to playing this, I would kill the opponent. As it is with Stampede Dinos, Palani's Hatcher, Regisaur Alpha, a bunch of dinos entering the battlefield, all hasty and in a lot of cases lethal. You might think this is overloaded, but if I'm going to do this thing and this is going to win, I want to make sure in many scenarios that I get the job done that way. And I think Ixaly's Lore Keeper maybe could be the trick. If I'm facing off against an aggro deck, I bring Ixaly's Lore Keeper in. I get 1 mana closer. However, with Stampede Dinos, Castle Garenbrig having that activated ability, you can't use Ixaly's Lore Keeper's mana for that. It's only for a dinosaur spell or an activated ability of a dinosaur source. But the idea is that I'd be activating Castle Garenbrig as usual with the package of lands, Sunken Citadel and whatnot. So it's not like I would be using the Lore Keeper's mana to go towards that. Potentially, turn 3, something like that. I might be able to make 6 for Castle Garenbrig. But the 6, of course, would only be Carnage Tyrant. I still have to wait a couple turns to get to the 8 for Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. I mean, there's a very real possibility it could be turn 1 Sunken Citadel, turn 2 it untaps. We use that 1 green to play Ixaly's, and then another Sunken, then maybe turn 3 Castle Garenbrig. So we have 2 Sunkens and Castle, activating its ability for 6, plus Ixaly's Lore Keeper is 7, and then we draw another land, possibly by turn 4, playing Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. But that would be few and far between. It's just an extra mana attached to a creature. It's for dinosaurs, and I have sprinkled in Kogla and Yidaro. Pretty good removal all around. Has a lot of fantastic features. Discarding it to take out an artifact or enchantment, that Torpor Orb that is coming with Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It can gain trample, haste, fight creatures. It's big. It's a bunch of removal. It's another dinosaur that hasn't entered the battlefield effect. Very, very lovely stuff. Pairing that with Ghalta, it's going to be deadly. Very deadly. But it does require 2 red. And Regisaur Alpha, Palani's Hatcher, also requiring a red. So Ixaly's Lore Keeper would help to cast Palani's Hatcher in those cases. And sometimes I don't have any play. The cheapest creature I have in my hand on turn 4 is Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur, and I just feel sad because I can make 6 green, but I can't have one of that be a red for one of these dinos. So for that reason, and also just potentially getting that 1 mana closer for Ghalta, I think Lore Keeper could be quite fantastic. I think I prefer it costing 1 versus Drover of the Mighty, Intrepid Paleontologist, that we also got from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. But this costing 1 could alleviate some painful scenarios. Possibly Sunken Citadel, turn 1, Ixaly's Lorekeeper. Something for 2. The Paleontologist could be a little bit more awkward. Possibly the Forest turn 1 with Lorekeeper. But then I have 2 mana with maybe a Castle Garenbrig on turn 2. And I want to go Sylvan Scrying to grab the Sunken. But I would also want to play the Intrepid Paleontologist as soon as possible. Tapping for a mana has to be under our control from the beginning of our turn. But certainly Sylvan Scrying, usually, I would imagine, is far more important. Grabbing the package of lands that we need to supercharge and accelerate the game plan. So with the amount of tap lands, with the fact that I would want to be hopefully casting Sylvan Scrying sooner and faster, I could see Lorekeeper being a little bit more comfortable for sure. Of course, it could be Llanowar Elves or an Elvish Mystic. I don't want to go the full 8 because that would be a whole lot of nothing. There'd be many scenarios where I just have a bunch of dorks and that'd be rough. But potentially that could be an option, having 4 more. Either the Llanowar Elves or the Mystic. Bring all 8 in, including the Lorekeeper in game 2. When the opponent's trying to go fast, I just aim to go a little bit faster. I think Lorekeeper, probably enough to get the job done. But going back to the Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic point, potentially able to cast Archdruid's Charm on turn 2 with the 3 mana. Seems like a pretty fantastic option, but would it actually do something super fantastic? How would we get there? The untapped sources of green, we would have to supercharge the untapped sources of green on turn 1 just to get that potential. And it'd be only one certain scenario. We would have to see Llanowar Elves on turn 1 with a Stomping Ground or a Forest. 7 lands. Now I could up that certainly, but leaning so far into something that has to be seen on one specific turn doesn't feel so good. Ixaly's Lorekeeper. It could happen on turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. That's set up for an explosive turn 4 or turn 5. Any point in the mixture. We'll see. Otherwise, back to nature. I have been facing a little bit of enchantments. A lot of Amalia Explore and pesky vampires. Still a wide range, kind of a mixture of the top decks. I haven't seen anything too wacky, but we'll find out. Pick your poison back in for the vampires matchup, sacrifice the Vein Ripper, or make the opponent sacrifice the Torpor Orb if and when I continue to use Pick Your Poison after Thunder Junction is released. And Thrashing Brontodon, because a creature, sacrifice, take out an artifact or enchantment. Buy a little bit of time. I don't have anything specific I really want to hate against other than Pick Your Poison and some enchantments. I don't care too much about Phoenix because oftentimes I just beat them up. Greasefang potentially could be rough, especially since I've trimmed the black for tonight at least. Terra Sunder could be good, but I wouldn't really expect to face Greasefang. I don't remember the last time I faced it. Watch me face it right here. That would be pretty rough. I'm just interested to try this out. If oftentimes even with a sweeper I'm not fast enough against aggro, I might as well just elevate the plan I already have to be a little bit faster as the way to beat the fast decks. Something to explore. I've got tons of time. This is the only thing I do if some of you guys are new. Yeah, that's all it. There you go. Didn't add any new clips tonight. Wanted to get going. But I am looking forward to this. Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know that I'll outdo myself from the previous stream. Man, that was a fantastic start. This hand Not so much with the Cavern of Souls. Painful stuff. That did get quite a bit better. I would imagine, I would hope a third land or a Sylvan Scrying or a Commune to dig for the third land. Seeing Sunken Citadel is very, very nice. We'll send Kogla and Yidaro to the bottom. The least likely impactful thing. Keeping certainly Palani's Hatcher and Regisaur Alpha, supercharging the haste, especially if an opponent has removal. They kill that thing. Oh my goodness. I jinx myself. Well, in a good way, I jinx myself saying I wouldn't outdo it. Simply drawing the Sunken Citadel, man. I would imagine Archdruid's Charm is going to get countered. Potentially. Drown in the Lock for 2 could counter it. Okay. We're saying goodbye to Archdruid's Charm 100%. Thought Seize is a little bit painful. Watch me top deck Castle Garenbrig. That'd be extra funny. But Dimir Rogues is going to be fairly rough. Lots of counter spells and that sort of thing. Oh, Commune with Dinosaurs might just get it. Drown in the Lock probably countering it 100%. Or Spell Pierce. So, would have been good to play the Forest. I thought I'd try it out. Just in case it was another Sunken. Chances are it wouldn't have been. Hopefully we draw it. Oh, no, they milled it off the top. I would have drawn it. Ooh, painful.
This is a load of barnacles.
It certainly is a load of barnacles and some other, 2 Tyrranax Rexes. Some other stronger words. Okay, Archdruid's Charm. Well, you know what? We're going to wait. See if they do something with Flash. Do it. Okay, well, we have to try. I would imagine Drown in a Lock or some other counter spell. Gotta be. Must be. Oh, this is getting interesting. I would be able to play a Tyrranax Rex next turn. However, well, they've milled 3 of the 4 Tyrranax Rexes, and I'm not even a third of the way through the deck. Well, now I am. The question becomes, what sort of sacrificing things do they have? We're going to try and dig. Drown in the Lock probably getting this. Although they didn't counter the other Thoughtseize. So they could potentially be done for. Of course, they do get a cast Carnage Tyrant with those 2 Sunkens and the Castle Garenbrig. Draw out the Sheoldred's Edict, possibly instant speed, making us sacrifice it. But maybe they have a counter for, I don't know. We'll see. Brazen Borrower. Huh. Interesting. So they don't have Sheoldred's Edict 100%. Well, I would imagine they would have used it. Or, because it doesn't have haste, they wanted to get the Brazen Borrower down, and now making me sacrifice Carnage Tyrant. They don't have too many more cards. If, for some strange... Oh, no, they milled Cavern. That's bad. If for some strange reason they don't have a counter spell, I could try it. I certainly could try it. They don't know I have an Archdruid's Charm. I think I'm going to wait. See if there's an opening to get Archdruids. See what we draw out. I'm interested. Very much so. They must have something. There it is. Now the question becomes, Archdruids to shoot the Brazen Borrower? I think we do that. We have to do something to try and take him out. Kill him. Hope they don't have a counter spell of some kind. They only have 1 card left. Phew, I smelled that a mile away. Okay. 5 damage. 5. Is it enough? We'll see. This is going to be pretty interesting. But it seems like that might have been the only thing. Hopefully I top deck a Cavern of Souls. I only have 3 in the list tonight. Oh, that's not what we gotta try. We gotta try. Now or never. We have to do something. Come on, no counterspell. No Tishana's Tidebinder. Oh, yeah. They have another one, don't they? Okay, I guess they don't. Interesting. Huh. Is that going to be it? Watch, they have 2 pieces of removal for Regisaur and Palani's Hatcher. Don't do it. Don't do it. Good. They don't. Now they die. Oh.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Okay. Man, it always seems to go fantastic the first game, the first match. Ooh. But Dimir Rogues certainly is very scary. Counter spells, milling, Tishana's Tidebinder. Let's go, Punk Monk. Yes, please. Lots of crazy stuff. And it's even worse with Dimir Rogues because a lot of them have flash. A lot of the creatures have flash. If they have mana up and they're not doing anything, it could represent almost their entire deck. A counter spell, a creature, a death touch, flash this in, block somebody, who knows what. However, is there anything that would help? It's going to be a lot of mill, sadly, with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Plus the Soaring Thought Thief. Man, I felt pretty bad, I gotta say, seeing that Castle Garenbrig go, but, well, we still got him. I mean, Ixaly's Lorekeeper is basically guaranteed to die. It doesn't seem like the right deck to bring it in against. It's not an aggro deck like I was mentioning. Bring it in, go faster, to win faster, or just win more often. Pick your poison. Well, they do have flying creatures. Perhaps. I love everybody that's here, really. Rampaging Brontodon potentially could be the thing that goes. But pick your poison isn't exactly going to win us the game, I think. It could do a whole lot of nothing. It gets rid of one rogue. They have a decent amount of creatures. And that's it. They might not play too many flying things. We could simply see no flying creature, and then they have no artifacts or enchantments. Yeah. Keep it the same. Beat them up the same. I hope. That certainly looks like that's going to do the trick. Now the question becomes with these interesting hands. I keep Ghalta so Archdruids doesn't have to search for Ghalta. Send one Archdruids to the bottom, send Commune. Potentially. What would Thoughtseize get rid of? Really, this is the fun thing. Now, what would it get rid of? You know what? I say we do Archdruids. Keep it nice and mixed. Okay, what's it gonna grab? Oh, they're gonna flash in the Thieves Guild Enforcer, are ya? Oh, never played against rogues in my life. But yes, more milling. I'm just glad I didn't see it the previous game. It's always very rough, especially when I play Carnage Tyrant into this. Once we get 8 or more cards, this thing gets +2/+1 and Death Touch. Not a pretty sight. But Commune, we're gonna try and find another Sunken. Next turn I would be trying to go Archdruids anyways, so it doesn't make sense completely to just hold on to it. I think as long as we get to go Archdruids, that's going to be quite painful. Basically dead, as long as I don't stay flooded. Could be a very real possibility. They have milled Regisaur, Palani, Xenagos, Rampaging Brontodon, and a Commune and Tyrranax Rex. But I think Cavern of Souls was the best. The best bet. Got to get 3 green. Almost played Cavern of Souls there because I was talking about it. Wouldn't have been able to go Archdruid's Charm. I just want to... Good. Flash it in. Hope they don't Spell Pierce. But this is probably our best window to do something good. I like it. Now we just have to cross our fingers that they don't have Tishana's Tidebinder. And I draw another creature that gives everybody haste. Oh boy, 5, 6, okay. But we're not quite dead. And they could be. Any of their counter spells don't do anything, but seeing Tishana's Tidebinder, we know what might happen. Flooded. So completely flooded. It is a little bit unfortunate, even with 18 lands. That does happen. But they put quite a few creatures in the graveyard. No lands. Okay, so that does make a fair bit of sense. Here goes nothing. We are dead next turn anyways. They have enough flying and we don't have enough aggression to get it done. But this moment, scenarios like this, I haven't faced Dimir Rogues, but similar to this, having so many lands and then poof, all of a sudden I have more than I could ever need, more mana than I could ever need. And it's quite interesting, surprising. Tishana's Tidebinder coming up. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Yeah, even without mill, having a bunch of creatures, still seeing a lot of lands. So many lovely bodies. Yeah, keep it like that. Again, Lore Keeper guaranteed to die, but it kind of makes sense, and something I've wanted to try. There is so many spells and so many decks where Dork or Drover of the Mighty, Marauding Raptor even, those little creatures, they're just guaranteed to die pretty much. Well, they're not useless, but if the removal an opponent is using up on one of the early creatures isn't much of a problem anyways. By the time I do my thing, I dump a bunch of bodies. One piece of single target removal, chances are it could be useless. Carnage Tyrant they can't target, Tyrranax Rex they likely can't, but sometimes it is just so many overwhelming bodies. Even though we made them use up a piece of removal, it wouldn't have mattered down the line when they do their thing. So, mulliganing twice though, quite fantastic. I'll take it, big time. Certainly nice to see Castle Garenbrig. Only 2 sources of green could be a little bit rough, but again, 3 copies of, well, we're saying goodbye to Archdruid's Charm, that's for sure. Oh, okay, very interesting. Maybe they saw I couldn't cast Archdruid's Charm, and they're worried about Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Perhaps they think I don't have too many in the list, which, well, that's not the case. I have all 4. Oh boy. That is, no, they, well, I wouldn't have gotten that Castle Garenbrig. The next thing coming up was going to be Carnage Tyrant. So I still would have been held off of Archdruid's Charm, and it's a Sunken Citadel. Boy, oh boy. Thank you, Dimir Rogues, and thank you for that mill. Flash in the Thieves Guild. Another Thieves Guild? Fairy Mastermind, okay. That's pretty good. It's not too bad. It's not the most aggressive deck in the world. So it gives us a fighting chance. Oh. Now we wait. Flash something in. Use up your mana. Do it. You gotta use it at some point here. Hopefully. We'll try it at the end of the opponent's turn. See if there's some window. No, we gotta do it. Countered. Drown in the Lock. Spell Pierce. What's it gonna be? Okay. That's how she goes. At least the opponent is getting a little bit mana screwed. And we got the absolutely perfect thing with that final cavern. Oh, beautiful. Keep bashing them. Beating them up. I like our chances now. Okay. This might do the trick. And it's been quite some time since I've got to do this sort of scenario. Have an overload of Regisaurs and Palani's Hatcher. And just beat them up that way. Keep playing a bunch of bodies. Go wide. Aggro. Lovely stuff. Lovely to draw out that Shieldred's Edict. One less thing. One less chance of losing. Yeah, we might as well block it. Losing Carnage Tyrant. It's always painful when that happens. Alright, just keep playing the bodies, keep beating them up.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Oh, ooh. Could that be it? They have to run out of removal at some point, either playing a creature or removal. Probably maybe the only thing they'll do for a turn. Unless they play Shieldred, that would be painful. I don't think it's all that common in Dimir Rogues. But I mean, if you're in black, certainly it is an enticing option. Oh, and there's the Tyrranax Rex to Rex him. I hope. Well, you never know. They could do something not so fun. Ether Gust. Maybe they have an Ether Gust. Okay. Mill a bunch of things. And we'll kill a bunch of things. Okay, hey, that's how she goes. Just attack with everybody. Maximum.
Ruthless aggression!
I love it. It's got to do the trick. At least a couple creatures have to block. Plus, we still have that egg token left behind. So, yeah, definitely we should be safe. Hopefully. Just keep dropping bodies. But also nice with Kogla and Yidaro, since I am dipping my toe a little bit further into red. I just love the potential of this because it is part Dino. Gains the haste benefit from Regisaur or Palani's Hatcher. In case I want to have it enter and fight a creature, I still would get to attack with it. It doesn't have trample at that point, but still hasty, lovely aggression. Oh, I think we get him good. Perfect. Yes, that's what it's all about. Send a message. Phew. That was a close one, a little unfortunate for the opponent, but hey, it happens to everybody, and it certainly has happened to me. It's basically like a roll your dice. With all the milling, sad sometimes to see something that you would have drawn. You see that Castle Garenbrig, that big creature that you could have played, milled off the top, and then your draw for the next turn is a land. And you're kicking yourself, but there is not a whole lot you could do. Just got to try your best and hopefully have some uncounterable creatures. Or just take out their rogues, really. If you can take those out, it should be good. Or shuffling your graveyard back into your library would be ideal. Kind of like whenever you face off against regular mill, mono blue, Dimir mill, Izzet mill. I think Izzet mill, red and blue is probably the scariest. I faced it 2 weeks ago, something like that, and was not a pretty sight at all. Once they find an opponent, maybe the algorithm thought, oh, this guy is not going to win. Then I did. Maybe Wednesdays are a little bit slow. Today is Wednesday? No, today is Tuesday. It's kind of middle of the week. Slow for some people. They want to relax. Monday was rough. Tuesday they finished. They're like, oh man, I still got 3 more days. Hopefully I face Azorius Control. Regular Azorius Control, I gotta say it's been a long time since that's happened. Yeah. Ghalta. Could it be vampires? It was something sacrifice related. I think that hand looks a little bit better. Cavern in a Stomping Ground. Rough. Restless Ridgeline, Stomping Ground, and Sylvan Scrying to start and get us going. I think it's worth a shot. Just because I don't know what it's all about, send one of the 2 Regisaur Alphas to the bottom. Keep the Tyrranax Rex in case we face something blue-ish. Okay, Gruul vehicles. Well, I have seen that before. We got to take the ping. We got to search for Castle Garenbrig. Hopefully have a good chance here. Archdruid's Charm next turn would be fantastic. Drawing the Sunken Citadel as well. Sylvan Scrying, another one to grab a Sunken and play it for the turn. Okay, Commune to start. Just in case it's not a Sunken. Well, it's alright. We'll get there. Maybe. Eventually. Did we send an Archdruids or a Sylvan Scrying to the bottom? No. So we have dug quite a bit closer. 1 Sylvan or 1 Archdruids should be coming up. I would imagine pretty soon. Mostly dead, I would imagine, with the Lovestruck Beast and Mutavault hitting us next turn. Well, we did get the Sunken 5, 6, 7. No, not gonna do it. Darn. Would have been pretty cool though to play Sunken Citadel as my land, using Archdruids to grab the second Sunken, live with a couple health, as I do sometimes. But Lorekeeper, we're going faster. Kogla and Yidaro, trim that. Commune, one of those. I think for now that's what I'll do. Possibly Kogla and Yidaro could be pretty good against Gruul vehicles. I suspect it's Gruul vehicles. Taking that out, paying 4 to take out 1 artifact vehicle. Is that going to save me? Would it save me? Well, probably not too much. Oh, yep, keep 100%. There is the Sunken Citadels that I was looking for. Big time. We only have to see an Archdruids or a Sylvan Scrying or the Castle Garenbrig itself or one of the 3 communes to dig for the castle, or Ixaly's Lorekeeper. I kinda like the looks of that. Gotta say. We're getting pretty close to being super duper flooded though. Restless Ridgeline is going to be quite nice, and I do only have 1 copy, but certainly has been quite some time since using it, because I really should have named the second Sunken, or oh, okay, well, I guess I get a chance to choose red. There you go. Still can't play Carnage Tyrant next turn, but we'll see. Sunken. You never know what you're gonna get. Who needs Sylvan Scrying and Archdruid's Charm to search for a specific land? All you have to do is simply draw it off the top. And, but we're not dead yet. Xenagos is, interesting. Pretty interesting. Looks like we might have to use Ixaly's Lorekeeper simply to block the Lovestruck Beast. Or Lorekeeper just goes down, possibly. Man, this is just a wacky one. Just block the Lovestruck Beast. Do what we gotta do. I'm just surprised the Lorekeeper has lasted as long as it has. I would have imagined a Stomp from Bonecrusher Giant. Some piece of removal. But I can make Restless Ridgeline a creature if I have to, desperately, just to somehow survive. Ooh, Stomping Ground too. Huh. Alright, well, that's what it's going to be. We have our forest land if by chance I live next turn. I can make Restless Ridgeline into a creature, block somebody. Might be able to get the job done. We'll just keep playing stuff. I would hope to play Carnage Tyrant next turn if we can live somehow by stopping the Lovestruck Beast. I'm just kind of curious at this point. When am I going to get the hopeful, eventual Archdruid's Charm? Okay, that does tend to do the trick. Oh boy. Yeah, that does it with the Stormseeker. Nah, we're not coming back from that. If I had a Castle Garenbrig in hand, or I would have played it by then, to play Carnage Tyrant. Nah. Yeah, that would have done the trick. If we had been able to make the 8 mana needed for Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't happen either time. Game 1, Game 2, or it happens Game 2, you get to go on the play, you're a little bit faster. We'll see. I'd be surprised if I didn't face an Amalia or a Rakdos Vampires tonight, though. Yeah. Just has been super common, but that's how variance goes. You have a batch of stuff, you think, oh, why me? Woe is me. Why am I facing all this stuff again and again? And maybe you bring in some specific hate to help you in a particular matchup because you think, oh, it's super common. Then you just simply don't face it. That's just how it goes sometimes. Maybe this is another dinosaur player. I could see that happening with the Huatli avatar. It's been quite some time since I have faced another dinosaur opponent. I wouldn't be doing a whole lot with that hand. Oh, okay. No lands to Cavern of Souls. Technically, it is better. And just not a lot better. Okay, well, that will do it. Big time. Regisaur and Kogla to the bottom. We got to get Commune off. We have to search for a land for turn 2. Certainly have to go with Sylvan Scrying. There was only one land in the top 5, so I think there's a pretty good chance we might just draw it for the turn. Cavern of Souls. We might as well go with Cavern of Souls. It doesn't appear to be anything with counter spells. Yeah. Vampires, really nothing super aggressive, I hope. Crossing my fingers. But if I don't have to take 2 from Stomping Ground, I might as well not. That's another Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Hey, we have to have Thoughtseize, but we don't have to. Okay. Oh, that changed quite a bit. I'll keep Archdruid's Charm there on the off chance there is some random big thing that I have to take out. Okay, well, Duress. And I'm going to play the one thing they could discard. Gotcha. See you later. Man, I love that. Pay 1 black to reveal my hand. That's it. That's funny stuff. That's what you get. Phyrexian Arena. Okay. Do I like Kogla and Yidaro? Hasty, big. You know what? Let's go with that. Oh, I can just do its ability. Never mind. Because it was highlighted, I thought, oh, I could play it. But it's just the 4 mana to discard it, draw a card, and take out that Phyrexian Arena, which wouldn't be super impactful. We'll just get the aggression going. Hopefully it's enough. Phyrexian Arena could be painful and could take out the opponent. At the beginning of their upkeep, they draw a card and lose 1 life. So we just have to hope they don't get Shieldred. I would imagine Palani's Hatcher is dead. With 6 cards in hand and the fact I haven't played a creature yet, somebody's going down. Okay, the Virtue of Persistence, -3/-3. Painful stuff. But also Tyrranax Rex is also very painful. Cross your fingers they don't have Shieldred's Edict. They would choose non-token creature, which would mean I'm forced to sacrifice it. Okay, that looks good. I like it. Yep. Oh boy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, I did tap 5 lands to make 7 mana, and there's nothing you can do about it. I made 7 mana with just lands. Reliable. Stable. Yeah, oh, what? You're gonna cry. Oh, they keep looking at it. Okay, good. Good. They're wondering, doing the math. It was probably causing them a bit of a headache, seeing those 5 lands, adding it up. Sunken, Castle, huh. Is my opponent hacking? How did that happen? A deadly cover-up? It is certainly pretty deadly. At the very least, they couldn't collect evidence. I could possibly drop Ghalta next turn, which would also put Kogla and Yidaro out. If I draw a land that enters untapped, well, they would die. They would have died. However, we just go Sylvan Scrying and gonna make the opponent crying. I might as well go Restless Ridgeline. I don't need the extra 2 from Sunken at this point. The man-land potential of Restless Ridgeline could actually come in pretty handy, especially if I make it into a creature in response to an opponent's Shieldred's Edict. Possibly. Okay. Well, now it's now maybe they're done for. Okay. Okay. Any creature, any dino. Not Cavern of Souls, but we'll see how she goes. Should be all right. They only have 1 black. Kogla and Yidaro to take out the Obliterator? No, we can't do that. We have to wait until it's a turn that's absolutely lethal, which is not the case. Okay. Hey, as long as we have those bodies, the opponent is not going to attack. They can't leave themselves open. They have to wait. Phyrexian Arena could simply get them. We're not blocking. We might be drawing out another deadly cover-up. And I bet they can collect evidence. Hopefully they can't. They see the Ghalta Stampede Tyrant in our hand, and they would certainly name that. Exiling Ghalta from our hand, library. Oh, they do? Okay. Why did I jinx myself? Why did I do that? However, Restless Ridgeline, a very real possibility. That would almost get the job done. That would be pretty good. Oh, Tyrranax Rex. Okay, interesting. Well, hey, they're tapped out. I don't have to worry about Fatal Push, which is very good. And now they lose. Look at that. Phyrexian Arena. That's what you get. There you go. I didn't even realize that until it happened, but okay. Okay, the 1 Restless Ridgeline did the trick. Phew. You can see how painful it is without having haste. A lot of haste. A lot of haste. That's where it's at. I would never cut a single Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha. It just feels too important to what this particular variation is trying to achieve. However, mono black. Lots of removal, deadly cover-up. That is certainly going to be pretty deadly, especially because the opponent knows what this deck is trying to do. They could simply have seen no creatures, but they have enough to collect evidence. Deadly cover-up, simply naming Tyrranax Rex, that would be rough. Possibly, but I have so many different big creatures. Chances are I still would be able to get the job done. Ixaly's Lorekeeper? No way. Not at all. Thrashing Bronton? I don't want to take out enchantments. Phyrexian Arena, that was how I won, so yeah, you can keep it. Fine by me. Man, they must be kicking themselves. We still got the job done, even through 2 sweepers from the opponent. That feels good. If this was game 1, I would 100% keep this hand. Stomping Ground, Commune, to grab my second land, to play Sylvan, to grab whatever it is, Castle Garenbrig or Sunken Citadel. But because they got Thoughtseize, okay, it did get worse. But because they have Thoughtseize, that hand, okay, it got even worse. I should have kept the first one. Too risky. Well, eventually we got there to something. Send all the creatures to the bottom. Keep as much as possible to ramp, and hope you don't lose things to things. A Commune with Dinosaurs or a Sylvan Scrying next turn would be pretty darn fantastic, I hope. A land, Commune, or Sylvan Scrying. Field of Ruin, sadly, that is going to ruin our chances. I have been thinking of re-adding in Pithing Needle, or just something that turns off activated abilities. Haven't seen Field of Ruin for another Archdruid's Charm. Well, it's a little bit rough. But two feet. And Stone Brain, and they can activate it. I'm curious what they're going to name. Probably some big dino. Maybe it would be Archdruid's Charm, but I feel probably Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Maybe Tyrranax Rex. That is what they chose with one of those deadly cover-ups that they cast the previous game. It is a very scary creature, and it does have haste. So, okay, good. Well, not good, but that's how it goes. But the fact that Tyrranax Rex has haste, a little bit scarier potentially over the Carnage Tyrant. However, I don't know. We drew that second Sunken. We can go Archdruids to grab Castle. Then we're able to make 7. We don't have a Tyrranax Rex, but Field of Ruin, it is going to be painful. We have to wait for maybe some window, some scenario where we can grab it. We have to draw out a Field of Ruin, or both of them at some point. Just one would be bad enough, but 2 is going to be quite problematic. At the very least, they're tapped out, so maybe I draw it. Oh, okay. Sylvan Scrying. Either way, I don't have another land to play this turn. I would play my land and then go Archdruids, but since I don't have one in hand, it's got to be Castle Garenbrig. We're going to draw out 1 Field of Ruin, possibly 2, if they want to take out Castle plus a Sunken. Oh, okay, that's something. But Archdruids could grab Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. That's what I'm getting at. And now I do have a land for the turn. And now I can make enough mana. The question becomes, would they do some sort of sweeper? What would Carnage Tyrant draw out? I say we wait. See what they do. If it's another Hive of the Eye Tyrant swinging towards us, if it's Field of... Okay. Alright. You have a Death Wish. I guess. I'll take it. Very odd. Okay, I'll kill him. Fine by me. I certainly expected the opponent to use Field of Ruin at some point here. Maybe they thought I wouldn't be able to make enough mana. A surprising amount. But that is ruthless aggression. That is what I aim to do. Kill him. It is a very uncommon deck. I'm basically the only person that plays it. So they were continually caught off guard. They didn't factor in both Sunken Citadels plus Castle, make 6. Stomping, Cavern. The threat of Archdruid's Charm. Archdruid's Charm was revealed. Everything was revealed. And now perhaps they're realizing their fatal mistake or something like that. I don't know. Either way, we got him.
You won! You did it!
Well, if I face them again, they won't make that mistake. Hey, I'll take it. I'm not used to winning through Field of Ruins. A lovely, lovely time indeed. Ooh. That was just extra wacky. But, of course, if you play one thing enough, you're going to see all kinds of strange combinations. You keep a hand with a bunch of Archdruid's Charms, or one, and then you draw one, and then you draw one, or you have to mulligan so incredibly much, and you still get the job done. You don't need too many lands sometimes to make a big amount of mana, and, well, certainly I basically had to mulligan that much, but sometimes it's risky. But you could risk it, knowing that it can be really good, even if you have to send a couple things to the bottom. Takat, though, Mythic, number 192, feels like a familiar name. That is kind of a familiar hand. 1 Cavern, no, and Jengatha as well, so maybe we're going to be seeing something similar. No counterspells, I would imagine. I can probably send Cavern of Souls to the bottom. Certainly want to maintain Sylvan Scryings and whatnot. At the very least, I get to go 1 Sylvan Scrying. Okay. We're finally facing Izzet Ensoul artifacts. Interesting. Hopefully we're fast enough. Cross your fingers. Okay. Whew. Ensoul artifact costs 1 and a blue. It's an enchantment. They enchant an artifact, and that artifact now has base power and toughness 5/5. It's rough stuff, I gotta say. But this might be extra rough for the opponent because we're going to be able to make 7 mana next turn playing Sunken Citadel. We'll be well on our way to a Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, I hope. Oh boy. We're at 11. We're not dead yet. Let's not get too worried. Commune with Dinosaurs to dig for you know who. Let's go. That's painful. We'll grab Cavern of Souls. Darn. I really would have expected one of the 4 Ghalta Stampede Tyrants. Maybe I top deck it. You never know. Or we just die to the Shrapnel Blast. Okay. Hey. That's how she goes. I was thinking maybe going Kogla and Yidaro, but I thought I'd risk it. Being at 11, however, you got to be very scared of that potential. 1 in a red to just sacrifice an artifact. It likely, oftentimes, is going to be the tokens, the blood token, or possibly a treasure, or this clue. However, they got a lot of artifacts. We need pick your poison, flying creatures as well. Thrashing Bontodon. Yep. Yep, that's what we're doing. Kogla and Yidaro, trim it. Rampaging Brontodon, trim it. Again, facing artifacts, Kogla and Yidaro could be pretty beneficial, but if I get to a point where I can cycle and do it with the 4, I might have been able to play something big for a 6. I could have a Stomping Ground, 2 forests, and Castle Garenbrig. Something like that. Or a Stomping Ground, Sunken Citadel, a forest, and Castle Garenbrig. With that mixture, making 6 green, or 4 for Kogla. I got to imagine there's probably some creature that would be better to cast for 6 than discarding Kogla and Yidaro to take out an artifact or enchantment. Maybe. But one more thing has to go. Do I want to bring in Ixaly's Lorekeeper? Kind of. I don't think they have a whole lot of removal. That could be... No, don't bring it in. Keep it out. That could be the ticket. Going a little bit faster. Certainly this is a very aggressive deck. Sometimes you just lose to get that turn 1 Voldaren Epicure or Siren Pirate, whatever it's called, making an artifact token on turn 1. Turn 2, they make that token into a 5/5, but that might do it. 100% happy that I don't have to mulligan so much. Is the Bomat Courier going to be... let me think. I don't want to be hit for 5. Get it out of the way. I smell Ensoul artifact coming up. They could unearth it, but they're not going to be making it into a 5/5, so hopefully that helped. However, Archdruid's Charm. Would they have counter spells? Maybe. Just search for Sunken Citadel. Don't ask questions. Do it. If they're tapped out, if you see a window, do it. 100%. Yeah. I would be surprised if they had a counter spell, but you never know. If I have a window guaranteed to do something that I need to do, I'm doing it. Even if there was the potential, Archdruid's Charm could have exiled an artifact. At that point, I would have rather done the game plan. Surprise, there you go. You can't counter, Shrapnel Blast. Well, the opponent has to try and go as fast as possible. If I draw a land that enters untapped next turn, that might be it. Well, the 5/5 doesn't do a whole lot of anything. They can keep hitting me for 3. Carnage Tyrant just blocks Darksteel Citadel into infinity, so I'm okay with that. Slows down some of their aggression. Carnage Tyrant does tend to do the trick. The question becomes a Sylvan Scrying. I say we do it. Let's do it. Actually, I can just search for Castle Garenbrig. This is the funny part. And I can play it and still play the other Carnage, and now I have enough for Ghalta. Whew, okay. I like where this is going. 14 next turn. They have to have at least one creature behind to block, to save themselves. Interesting. I don't think they can do it this turn, but you never know. I certainly have been surprised before, especially against this Izzet Ensoul deck. Okay. Oh boy. Tyrant. Yes, please. Yes, please. Good game. That's what you get. You just gotta stick a thing that you can't do anything about. That the opponent can't do anything about. Whew. Oh. Revenge. There's always a bigger fish. Yes. Yes, Victor. Oh man. I'm just happy I got revenge against this particular deck, because I think it was today, or it might have been yesterday. I've lost against that deck twice in a row. Today. Yeah. We'll call it today. on my lunch break, I thought, oh, let's fire it up. Okay, Izzet Ensoul artifacts? Lost to it, because it is quite aggressive. And I'm like, oh, no, I'll try it again. And it's the same deck. A different opponent, of course. We just have to do it again. But I think taking out that early creature, we stopped them from having the 5/5 a little earlier. Maybe I have a couple Archdruid's Charms. I'm going to hope I do. Might be nice to exile Darksteel Citadel. It is an artifact land, and then becoming a 5/5 indestructible creature is painful. But it's nice. Speaking of nice, well, when you have a hand that is Cavern, Sunken, Stomping, Castle, 2 pick your poisons, and Archdruid's Charm, 100%. You gotta do it. Oh, and well, I'm taking 2. I'm paying 2 life, and that blood token is going away. No, no, no. You're not making that into a 5/5 today, buddy. And I will just keep making their artifacts go away. See you later. No 5/5 for you. Hopefully that helps. Okay, that's painful. At the very least, we have Archdruids. We're going to grab our second Sunken after we play Castle, and I mean, I would hope for a creature at some point. Okay. Here goes nothing. They may have to kill us next turn. We might be able to get them depending what we draw, but being a very aggressive deck, it could be over. At the very least, turn 4, I'm able to go Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. 2, 4, 5, 6. We'll find out. I could be able to do 15. Ixaly's okay. Well, you see how sometimes you're just flooded. You don't want to see any other land, and well, sometimes that's how she goes. Cavern of Souls, just in case they have a counter spell of some kind. I would imagine there's a Shrapnel Blast coming in. We're in range of Shrapnel Blast, and they do it to finish us off. Or they draw it next turn. They sacrifice the Combat Courier to see if they get it. Maybe. Unearth it for 1, Shrapnel Blast for 2, or they sacrifice Darksteel Citadel. Okay. 2, 2, 5. That does tend to do the trick, I think. I'm pretty sure. Exactly. Oh. Yeah. Again, if some of you guys are new, you might think, 18 lands, how is that ever going to work? You're never going to have enough, and then you play it a bit, and because you need lower lands to make a large amount of mana, and you have a bunch of stuff that grabs those specific lands to make a bunch of mana, and then all of a sudden you don't want to see Sylvan Scrying, Archdruid's Charm, potentially. At some point, you're going to be casting big stuff, but you're not going to have the 3 green left over for Archdruids. So you get into an awkward scenario with that as well, where you're just top decking big bodies, playing it, never playing Archdruids, never having another good moment to take out an opponent's creature. A very tough deck. I would expect to, have a rough chance against Izzet Ensoul. Joey, how's it going? Hopefully all is well. Long time, unless you've been lurking, which is perfectly fine, and anybody else that is lurking, watching right now later on, I'm just happy that you're enjoying it. At least one more match here. Yeah. We'll see. I'm just happy that it has been, a pretty nice spread tonight. But yeah, 100%. At the very least, I highlighted how completely useless, unnecessary Ixaly's Lorekeeper can be. A creature, or just a card in general, you want to see in the first turn, or the second, or the third. But pretty quick, that creature is not helping whatsoever. Is Ixaly's Lorekeeper the best option to achieve the plan of going faster, to beat up on an aggressive deck, kind of like that? Maybe not. Either way, I'm just happy eventually in a couple weeks, a week and a half, getting the Outcaster Trailblazer. Plot it for 2 and a green, then on a future turn we get to play it for free, get that 1 mana temporarily of any color. Then whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, we draw a card and we do our thing with Ghalta, putting a bunch of other powerful creatures meeting that requirement, drawing more cards. Lovely. Kind of as lovely as that hand. Ugh. Sunken Citadel. You know what, I'm going to go with that. It always enters tapped. We should be left with a Commune next turn. Sometimes if I only have 1 Commune, I turn it into something that can't be discarded. If you suspect Thoughtseize or Duress here, go Commune as early as possible, grab a land if you've played it for the turn, and wow, now they can't Duress what it has become. That Archdruid's Charm is rough. Oh, made the art for one of the new... Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Was it Vaultborn Tyrant? That'd be extra cool. But definitely grabbing the Restless Ridgeline. A little unfortunate there isn't a Castle Garenbrig yet. You know, we're a quarter of the way through. Castle Garenbrig or Sylvan Scrying to grab. You know what? Commune with Dinosaurs to start. There's the Castle Garenbrig. Then we go Stomping Ground, Sylvan to grab the second Sunken. And then we play the second Sunken next turn. And we hope we're fast enough. We hope the opponent doesn't do you-know-what, Vein Ripper, but... or Arcfiend of the Dross, also painful. But yeah, no, that is... that's pretty cool. Alright, cross your fingers. The opponent has to just not kill us. Arcfiend and Dusk Legion Zealot 7. 10 with Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Oh, okay. They got a Death Wish. Maybe. Oh, they're saving mana for removal. No. Cross your fingers I get Surrak and Goreclaw or Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha, or maybe they're dead. But I have 9 things that give everybody else haste. Kogla, can give itself haste, and yeah, well, we hope for the best. Cross your fingers. The full art for Generous Plunderer. Huh. I don't remember that one offhand, but actually this is quite fantastic. Kogla and Yidaro to fight Arcfiend of the Dross. Yes, please. Okay. Oh, they got removal. A valiant effort. Swing with Tyrranax Rex. I would imagine they have other removal. All they have to do is kill one of our creatures, Rampage and Brontodon. We would lose 2 life, and Arcfiend of the Dross is going to finish us off. They're digging for it. Getting rid of 2 lands with the second counter on Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Don't know what they're waiting for. They got it. Yeah, it's just unfortunate we didn't have one of 10 things, technically. A Xenagos, God of Revels, doubling Tyrranax Rex. the other Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. A pretty good chance it could have been Regisaur Alpha or Palani's Hatcher, but it was not, unfortunately. There you go. Couldn't quite get it done. Yeah, the haste, not overkill. You need to see it. You need to be as fast as possible, attack as fast as possible in many scenarios, and close. Oh, but I love that. That's part of the reason I love this variation of Dinosaurs so much. It's like razor thin. Maybe some of you guys are playing different decks don't quite appreciate that. Don't like that angle of almost getting there. Wow. I love its potential. I can't step away from it. However, Rakdos Vampires, we didn't see Sorin. We didn't see Vein Ripper, but that's got to be in the mixture. Not back to nature, but pick your poison. Either it takes out the Vein Ripper or that pesky Archfiend of the Dross. Kill that as soon as possible. Certainly if they package Vein Ripper and Archfiend of the Dross, if they have one of each out every time one of our creatures dies, we lose 4 life. That would basically lock it up right there. Rough. Ixaly's Lorekeeper. No. No, never. Kogla and Yidaro was nice. I did kind of miss the Mutavault being untapped. I thought they only had 1 black, which no removal for 1 black was going to take out Kogla and Yidaro. I say Rampaging Brontodon. We have lots of lovely bodies. I think Kogla and Yidaro could potentially save us. Almost saved us there. I like it. It's pretty good. Sunken Citadel, Restless Ridgeline. A little bit awkward, but we've got a Sylvan. To grab a Castle Garenbrig, another Sunken, it's worth a shot. And to pick your poison. That does make me feel quite positive. I would imagine we lose pick your poison to a Thoughtseize or a Duress if they have a Vein Ripper in their hand. Well, we're about to find out. Probably Sylvan Scrying. Something that's going to grab me a land. Gotta be. But it could be pick your poison. Setting up for that turn 3 Vein Ripper off of Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. Gotta be Sylvan. They have lots of lovely creatures. Even if I got rid of the Vein Ripper, they still would beat us up with vampires and... Okay. Well, that's alright. We'll make it work. Draw another green source. Draw another Sylvan. Draw Castle Garenbrig. Oh, boy. Well, I'll take it. Even though Castle Garenbrig entered the battlefield tapped, as long as Archdruid's Charm sticks around, we get to grab the second Sunken, then all of a sudden, or we get Castle Garenbrig, or Cavern of Souls, never mind. Archdruid's Charm, 100%. That's what we're going. A Vein Ripper doesn't have haste. We don't have to worry about being hit by it, the turn it lands. We have the potential of just going pick your poison if they go with Sorin. But yeah, I thought that was going to go bad. You could, no, too late. I don't feel too bad about the opponent being mana screwed a little bad. Okay, Kogla and Yidaro, go time. Yeah, just play it. They're not going to expect another one. Trample and haste, let's go. Whew. That's alright. It's pretty cool. I'm able to play it. It requires 2 red. The Cavern plus the Restless Ridgeline got me there. I had a lot of extra mana. 6, 7, 8. It would be nice to use it up, but hey, I still tapped 5 lands to pay for a creature that cost 6, so a little accelerated. Ghalta. Okay. I'm just going to attack with it. Watch the Preacher block, play Kogla afterwards, and get the job done. Fight the Harvester. Of course, it's past combat, so might as well. Alright. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. One of these days, we have to draw it. Or a Commune to dig for it, or something like that. That's not it. Just keep attacking. They'll keep blocking. Okay. Huh. You know what? I'm going to play Carnage Tyrant. That would draw out something. They might not have anything, but if they have something, they're definitely going to use it. Kebby, how's it going? Hopefully all is well. I'm not sure when we'll do it. It's hard to coordinate everybody. Figure it out, all the logistics. It's not too hard to know when we got him. We got him. Phew. I just have to do it again. I hope. Crossing my fingers. It's lovely knowing that Fatal Push is, useless. Mostly useless. Yeah, we were thinking of doing a podcast with Commander Crane there, but just coordinating everybody and then also working through technical difficulties. That can be hard. Yeah, I think I'll keep it like that. I thought for a second I might add in the Lore Keeper, but yeah, when you add a bunch more people and schedule-wise, it's rough. I have 2 kids, and yeah, this is about the most efficient thing I can do. Whenever they fall asleep, I do my stream, do it the best I can, and yeah, we'll see. But yeah, 100%. Love that hand. We got the 3 sources of green for Archdruid's Charm, which we lose to Thoughtseize. But there's 3 more Archdruids, and there's 4 Sylvan Scryings. Or there's a Commune, which would dig for a Sunken, or we draw a Sunken. So still, very, very positive, I think. Hopefully. Hey, at the very least, they had to get rid of Archdruids, but they still have to worry about pick your poison. If they get the turn 3 Vein Ripper, we would be okay. If they wanted to get the turn 3 Vein Ripper, at the very least, I have an answer for it. Phew. Damping Sphere? Wow. Technically that is a problem, because Damping Sphere, they'll sacrifice the blood token to pick your poison. I have to wait and see if maybe they missed that. Hopefully they missed that. When they want to draw a card, I don't see... Oh, okay, well, now the Archfiend of the Dross will go away. I think that's pretty good. You want to hold me off of making a bunch of mana with Damping Sphere, now you lose that thing. Phew. Phew. Cluster feeding. Oh, yeah, that is... yeah, that's a rough stage for sure. Palani's Hatcher. I actually don't like Palani's Hatcher much. Archfiend of the Dross and Vein Ripper. Whenever Palani's Hatcher gets rid or sacrifices one of those eggs, it triggers the Archfiend and the Vein Ripper. So yeah, no, that's not gonna do it. Damping Sphere is painful stuff. It's not the first time Rakdos Vampires has used it against me, though. I had Pick Your Poison, Archdruid's Charm, maybe to get rid of it. Torpor Orb is more painful though. I don't know. It's going to be painful if an opponent packages Torpor Orb to turn off creatures with enter the battlefield effects. And then also Damping Sphere. Maybe that would be overkill. Well, it's not overkill if it stops me from doing my thing. Huh. Yeah. Well, either way, we'll leave it there for tonight. I think it was pretty fantastic overall. Was the Lore Keeper necessary? Is it the best thing to accelerate? Maybe. Yes, good game, Victor. Nice to see a KBG, Joey, Punk Monk, anybody else watching right now, later on. Have a good rest of your time zone. Get some good rest. And yeah, see you next time. Peace.